Hello children, how are you? Hope you all are fine. Today we will discuss another poem, A Psalm of Life. We will see the title, the poem, the poet, different figures of speech, theme of the poem. So let's begin from the title of the poem. The title is A Psalm of Life. Psalm means a sacred song, a holy song, contained in the biblical book of Psalms. So it is a poem of praise to God. And this poem is subtitled as What the Heart of the Young Man Said to the Psalmist. So psalmist means is a person who makes the psalms. Psalms means the holy songs. So he is a well-defined figure in the Bible to make church songs about the development of the personality and the behavior of the people. So this was the first published in the first collection of a poetry named as Voices in the Night in 1839. So who has written this? Henry Wordsworth Longfellow, H.W. Longfellow. He is an American poet and educator, and he is the first American to translate Dante Alighieri's Divine Comedy. And if you see, much of Longfellow's work is categorized as lyric poetry with melodious musicality and didacticism. Didactic means a work having moral teaching, having spiritual utterance. So it is going to be a very inspirational poem for us, and we will see how this poem is able to bring transformations in our life. Now let's see the genre of the poem. The genre of the poem is Carpe Diem. Carpe Diem means seize the day. Seize the day means when the day begins, you have 100% control over the day. How you will spend the day in order to get the maximum possible things out of the moments of the day. So, and the style is AB. The first line rhymes with the third one and the second line rhymes with the fourth one. So the setting is completely spiritual, and we will see how the poet imparts his pearl of wisdom in a heartfelt way. Now let's begin the first stanza. Tell me not in mournful numbers, life is but an empty dream, for the soul is dead that slumbers, and things are not what they seem. So the very beginning of the sentence gives us a suggestion that don't tell me in mournful numbers. Mournful means sorrowful. Numbers means these are the chapters of the Bible. You see, Bible considers the futility of life. As it comes to an end eventually, life at the end comes to an end point, right? So Bible perceives in this way, but here the young man responds, no, life is not an empty dream. Soul is not dead, soul does not slumber, and things are what they seem. The real things are always not fake, always not unreal. Things are also like what they seem. Now how he argues further, let's see in the second stanza. Life is real, life is earnest, and the grave is not its goal. Dust thou art, to dust thou returnest, was not spoken of the soul. So life is real, life is not an empty dream, it is real, it is earnest, it is serious, and grave is not its goal. We are not living to die. Dust thou art, thou means you, art means are. So these are the old form of spoken English. So you are made up of dust, and again you will return to dust. So this is the viewpoint of a Bible. But this is true for the body. This is not true for the soul. In the Gita also we learn a sloka about soul, that Nainam chindanti sastrani, nainam dahati pavakaha, na chanam kledantyapo, na sosayati marutaha. No weapon can cut the soul into pieces, nor can it be burned by fire, nor moistened by water, nor withered by the wind. The soul is birthless, it is eternal, it is timeless, and is never destroyed when the body is destroyed. Now let's move to the third stanza. Not enjoyment and not sorrow is our destined end or way, but to act that each tomorrow finds us farther than today. So actually the two extreme points of life are not enjoyment or sorrow. So neither enjoyment nor sorrow is the extreme point. Then what is the purpose of life? The purpose of life is to act. Why to act? To act to make each tomorrow better than each today. So we have the capability to make our tomorrow better than our today. Now let's move to the next stanza. Art is long and time is fleeting, and our hearts, though stout and brave, still like muffled drums are beating funeral marches to the grave. So art is long, creativity is long, and the whatever assignments we have been given is long. It is too much. But time is fleeting. Time is passing every moment so fast, so speedily. And our hearts are brave and stout. We all people are strong and stout people. But there is one fact, and the fact is every time, like muffled drums, our heart is beating funeral marches to the grave. Every time we are closer to the death. Every moment we are getting closer to our graveyard. Muffled drums means the drums which are used at a funeral. Okay, these are covered with cloths to deaden the sound. Okay, to make it more serious. So every time our heart is beating, and every time we are drawing closer to the graveyard, to the death. Now let's move to the next stanza. In the world's broad field of battle, in the bivouac of life, be not like a drum driven cattle, be a hero in the strife. So this stanza tells that it is a metaphorical use. If you see that the world is compared to a battlefield, and life is compared to a bivouac. Okay, so the whole world is a battlefield, and we will have to always fight in order to overcome the critical situations. And our life is a bivouac means a temporary camp, because the duration of life, the time period of life is short, so it is temporary. So life is compared appropriately with the bivouac. Okay, so in that bivouac of life, how should we act? Should we act like a dom driven cattle? Dom means speechless. Driven cattle, you see the cattle, they are never driven by themselves. They do not use their own mind ever. They are driven by their master. Okay, but we don't have to act like dumb driven cattle. Rather, we have to act like heroes in that strife, heroes in that struggle, so that we can be models, so that we can make examples for the others. Then let's move to the next stanza. Trust no future, however pleasant. Let the dead past bury its dead. Act in the living present, heart within and God overhead. So in this stanza tells that we don't have to trust on future, because future is uncertain. We don't know what will happen in the next moment. So however pleasant the future may be, we do not have to rely on that. And the past is also same thing. Past is already past, so we don't have to hit our head against anything recalling the unpleasant past that has happened. Okay, because the past has also nothing to do with our present. So what is left in our hand? That is present, and we have to do the best use of present, and we have to act in the living present. How should we act? We should act with heart within and God overhead. So we should act wholeheartedly. We should work heartfully with 100% belief in God. God is our overhead, and heart is within us. And in that way, if we work, then we can go to the heights and we can get the success. Now let's move to the next stanza. Lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime, and departing leave behind us footprints on the sand of time. So this stanza tells that how great men inspire other people. What do they leave for other people? The great men all are inspirational. They make our lives sublime. Sublime means noble. So they can make our lives better, because while departing, while they left this earth, they have already left behind us the examples, the footprints on the sand of time. Here sand of time is again a metaphorical use. The time is compared with the sand, like sand never remains the same thing always. Always new sand replaces the old one. Similarly, time is also never constant. It fleets away. It always moves away. So but the footprints remain always as examples for the other people to follow. Now let's move to the next stanza. Footprints that perhaps another sailing over life's solemn main, a fallen and shipwrecked brother sings, I'll take heart again. So how the footprints work for the other people. Where here solemn main. Main means ocean. Okay, so the life is compared here as a ocean. So a sincere, solemn means a sincere ocean, and everybody has to cross the ocean. So but when a man tests the failure of his life, when he becomes a fallen means lonely, shipwrecked means when destruction of a ship, and usually you are left stranded, so nobody is there to help you. At that moment, who will work for you, who will actually help you? The footprints of the noblemen, they will help you to overcome the critical situations. So you will take heart again. That means again you will make yourself ready in order to overcome that critical situations. So that much important is a footprint. Now let's move to the next stanza. Let us then be up and doing, with a heart for any fate, still achieving, still pursuing, learn to labor and to wait. So what we have to do? Let us then be up. Up means let us again get ready. Never we will have to see down, rather we will have to see upward, and we will have to work. Okay, with a heart for any fate. Heart for any fate means for we will have to inculcate courage in order to face any kind of situation in our life, and still achieving, still pursuing. We will be achieving, and we will be still pursuing means continuing. Never an achievement is an end in itself. If we achieved something, we should not pause, we should not stop. Rather, we should look forward. Rather, we should work for something other. We'll have to learn to labor, learn to work hard, and to wait for the result. Because you see, one sloka in Bhagavad Gita tells that कर्मण्येव अधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु कदाचन. अर्थात you have a right to perform, okay, you as you are prescribed duty, but you are not entitled to the fruit of the action. So we will have to learn to labor and to wait patiently in order to get the fruit of the action. So in this way, the poem is really an inspirational one in order to make the most of time. Okay, so thank you so much. I think you have understood the poem in a better way.